everybody. This is 365 Days of Movie, a series where I rate my top 365 movies of all time. So, I'm going to release one video a day in which I talk about a movie on the list, and 1 year later we'll have an entire list that goes from 365 down to 1. If you have any opinions on the movies, let me know. I'd love to discuss it. Also, if you're interested in a deeper review of the movie, or maybe even a full video essay, the more interest I get in it, the more likely I am to do it. So I'd love to discuss this stuff with you in the comments. Comment below. Number 215, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, rating 7.86, released in 1991, directed by Kevin Reynolds, starring Kevin Costner, Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater, Alan Rickman, and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. Nobleman crusader Robin of Locksley breaks out of a Jerusalem prison with the help of Moorish fellow prisoner Azeem and travels back home to England. But upon his arrival, he discovers his dead father in the ruins of his family estate, killed by the vicious sheriff of Nottingham. Robin and Azeem join forces with outlaws Little John and Will Scarlett to save the kingdom from the sheriff's villainy. This movie, absolutely, it was either this or Batman that was my favorite movie while I was a young teen, between the ages of, I guess, 13 and 16. And I think Robin Hood kept going as my favorite movie for quite a while. And I've revisited it since then and obviously watched it many, many times. And it still holds up, in my opinion. It's still the best Robin Hood movie, in my opinion. What's funny is that when this movie came out, as you'll know, like Nintendo and Super Nintendo often put out video game versions. And I believe the Angry Video Game Nerd has covered a lot of these games, and especially the licensed games that were made from movies or other properties were often made by a company named LGN, and they tended to make the worst games ever. I don't know if Robin Hood Prince of Thieves was that, because I'm not sure that I've seen Angry Video Game Nerd cover that. If he hasn't, I'd certainly love to see him cover it. But in any case, this game that was made up about Robin Hood Prince of Thieves was in stores sometime after the movie came out, after we'd seen it in theaters, me and my friends. And the four of us were in a store, and one friend had enough money to get one video game. I'm sure that's a very common thing that everyone kind of can relate to. And he's wondering what game he should get. And he thought about Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. I said to him, it's probably not good because it's based on something. And then my other two friends said, no, it'll be great, because it wasn't their money and they just wanted to try the game. And if it was crappy, well, it didn't matter to them. So, of course, he listened to them instead of listening to me, even though I said exactly that to him. I believe I got a game called, what's it called, Archon? Basically, it's a chess game where the squares change color and your side gains more power if you're on your color. And then when you move the chess piece into a square where you're taking another piece, it goes to an attack map, and you play this mythological creature against another mythological creature, and some of them are more powerful than others, but then the color of the square changes, either ups your power or downs your power or keeps them both neutral. It was a great game, and that's what we played all day, and that's what we played a lot of, and we played Robin Hood Prince of Thieves for a very short time, and then never again. To get back to the movie, it's just so much, there's just so much. The music in this movie is amazing. The filming is amazing. The lush colors of the forest and the shore and even in his destroyed castle, it's just so well filmed that it makes you feel like you're in that time period, even though it's not maybe treating the time period completely seriously, because there's probably a lot of continuity errors with the costuming and maybe the the makeup, like hairstyles, that sort of thing. I seem to recall reading articles about that, but none of that matters because, as I may have said in other videos, a movie about a historical time period or an historical event don't have to be historically accurate because they're not documentaries, they're not a book, they are a movie that is meant to entertain. And if the story can be better told without using certain facts or twisting facts or even making up facts, well, then that is better than trying to strictly adhere to the historical event for a movie. For a documentary, that's no good. For a history book, that's no good. But for a movie, that's fine. So this movie is perfectly fine if you want to consider it set in an alternate world that had those historical events, if you think that it plays loose with the historical events. The point is that the story is wonderful, the way that he meets his band of merry men and then builds this whole little society in the forest. It's just so wonderful. It, especially as a child, it really ignites your imagination and sense of wonder. And there's so many great performances in this. I love Kevin Costner's performance, despite the fact that he's not really using an English accent. Who really cares? Morgan Freeman is amazing in this. Christian Slater is great. And Alan Rickman is just hilarious in this movie. It's wonderful. And if you haven't seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you have to go check it out. Hey, everybody. This has been 365 Days of Movies. We're going to keep plowing ahead. So let me know what you think of this movie. And if you want to discuss it further, comment below. If I get a lot of interest, I may very well make a full review of the movie, maybe even a video essay. So let me know what you think, and let's get to the next one.